Okay, we are live. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Since you're a
Walaikum
Muslim, I can say
assalam.
salam to you. If
Yes,
there is a non-Muslim, I will converse with them in a different manner. Okay. Okay,
yes,
so your name is Muhammad Hamza, right?
yes, sir.
Sayyid Muhammad Hamzah Ahmed. This is the full
Yes,
name?
yes, sir.
Okay. Whatever you have given to us in your registration process is, uh, you know, will be written on your certificate. So make sure like it's the right name and it has, because you have four names, Sayyid
Yeah.
Muhammad Hamza Ahmad, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So it's a very, very long name. Back in the day, my name was Muhammad Malik Muhammad Faisal Shaukat Ali Afridi. It was a very long name. So when I went to for my exams, for the Cambridge exams, they had to shorten my name. They said like, do you have a first name, second name,
Mm,
middle name, last name, what is it, right? So my father just made Muhammad Faisal. Otherwise, we are Malik and Afridi, right? So it was very
mm, long.
convoluted. So try to have the same name on all of your
Yeah.
educational documents, right? Because just recently we are basically one of the students who completed his diploma in AI ops and
Mm,
specialization is now going to US. So we are sponsoring him for EB visa, right? And he's also now a teacher on our side as well, mashallah. He did
Masha-
it, he originally he did his, I believe, bachelor's in pharmacy, but he never became pharmacist. He went into, because he couldn't find a job, so he changed his discipline. He started looking at other opportunities. So now he's here. So his name is Hafiz Mamoon Bashir something something. But on the some of the documents it says Mamoon Bashir. On the
mm,
passport and on the education document it says Hafiz. So I said you have to fix this. Just remove the word Hafiz because password, if you change the password, then the passport name, then they might ask you, not the password, the passport. So they might ask you, what was the name? Why did you change? Tons of questions will come up, right?
yes,
So have a consistent name. It's going to be easier for you. Okay. All right, so today we are going through your presentation. You have
yes,
sent me architectural diagrams, the AWS architecture, the Azure architecture. I have the topic, and I also have your presentation.
yes,
Uh,
sir.
the presentation is assessed in five key areas, and then followed by interview, right? Interview can be any number of questions I ask, right?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I'm trying to gauge your knowledge and everything. So the presentation has flow, presentation, how you're presenting it, the flow of it, the communication, how good is your communication skills, the knowledge that you have, and the AI usage. Now, looking at your diagram, I can tell one right now that you created these network diagrams yourself,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I can see it clearly. It's not something that you did all of this yourself, right? I can easily
Yes,
see it. You don't need to be an expert to predict like if someone is using AI for their work, right? Which is good. So it is commendable.
yes,
I really like that because I want to see what work a person has done, right? You are going to present those things over here today. Before we start, I want to take this opportunity to give you and communicate with you all the new policy that is coming up, right? So this is very important for
okay,
all
sir.
of you to understand. So just going to share it quickly so that everyone knows what is happening. Okay. So we have this policy which is coming up from 1st of January, right?
Okay,
This
sir.
is introduction to Al Razak program. Al Razak program will become mandatory requirement for every diploma program. A part of it, right? It
Okay,
is designed to infuse emerging technologies within each of the global disciplines, and these are the global disciplines which are available. There are 14 of them. Within these 14 disciplines, there are multiple disciplines, right?
okay, sir.
So, what our intent is to ensure that we embed and impose, all the key things within basically all of these key areas, right? So one of the things I would like to tell you is that this is a new thing which is coming up. Since you or any of the students who are registered prior to 1st of January for this diploma program of 2025, they will comply with the old policy, right?
Okay, sir.
The old
Yes.
policy for going for the exam. The old policy, what is the old policy? The old policy is, uh, this is the new policy. The new policy is EduQual Part 1. The weightage will change to 25%, the MCQs. EduQual Part 2, interview and presentation will be 25%. The Al Razak labs, depending on which diploma you're doing, it can vary, right? Will be 150 tasks, will be given to you. You have to do that. Not
Yes.
you, but anyone who's registering
Mm.
on 1st of January
Yes, sir.
2025. For 200 plus tasks, level 3, 250, and level 6, before we can even issue you the diploma. And that weightage is going to be task for diploma issuance. So you have to complete these tasks.
Oh,
Otherwise, we will not issue you the qualification will not be complete, right?
yes,
So
sir.
that's a very good because everyone can complete these tasks and they can score good marks and they will be able to be ready for the job as well, right?
Yes, sir.
The old policy, is basically it only has which is like 50% MCQs, 50% interview and presentation. So you're going through the old
Yes.
uh, the stream, right? So this is not
Mhm.
you are not being impacted, but I'm just telling you, this
Yes.
is the whole policy. We will mention all of those things and it will be communicated. So I'm just telling you right now, this is another thing. If you choose to go and say, you know what, I want to do Al Razak, because everyone is doing Al Razak anyway, right?
Yes.
If you say, I'm going to do Al Razak program because it's going to help me, because why are you studying? You're studying in order to secure employment, right? You're not
Yes.
studying just for the sake of studying, right? That's the goal, right? So we just want to make sure that you're ready for the job market, right? So keeping that into consideration, if you can opt in and say, you know what, don't give me the diploma until I complete these tasks. It's up to you what you
Yes,
want
sir.
to do. But since you are the old student in the old stream, the new stream is going to start from January of 2025. New students, as long as they are active, they will comply with the new policy. They have to register themselves, they have to pay the examination fee. But if they expire themselves and they say, you know what, I'm going to leave the diploma and then come back again, the new policy will be applicable to them. So as long as your membership is active,
Mhm. Yes.
anyone and before they registered before 30, on or after, before 1st of January 2025, they still have time. Today is 10th of December till 31st of December. They registered themselves.
Yes,
They will
sir.
31st of December, Eastern Standard Time. Remember that. That's another thing. Eastern Standard Time, which is the New
Yes.
York time where I'm based. That's what you have to follow. Okay. All right, Bismillah. So you can start your presentation. It's going to be 15 to 20 minutes tops, followed by Q&A session. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
sir.
going to start the timer. You already know the drill. You have already seen many
Yes,
interviews.
sir.
Okay. But before
Yes.
we start, I want to ask you something. So
Yes,
you're
sir.
Muhammad Sayyid Muhammad Hamzah Ahmed. What is your base qualification before joining us?
Okay, so I am doing a 2-year program of computer science from a university. So basically, it is a 2-year program. Uh, what was this, sir?
Which university?
From Mohammad Ali Jinnah University from Karachi.
Okay, from this is also known as Maju.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
Much.
so 2 years of program. Which kind of degree is that?
So it was a degree for associate degree. So it is now discontinued. So after 2 years, we can continue with others 2 years from BScs, which is Bachelor's in Computer Science.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm going to
So
review it anyway, just to before we issue the diploma, because all of those things are going to come in anyway. Okay.
yes,
And this presentation is going to cover basically The level. Which level is that?
Level 6.
Level 6. It is not mentioned on your presentation, by the way.
Yes, yes, sir.
So this is AI Ops.
Yes, sir.
Topic is mentioned. I can see the topic, but you have to mention presented by Sayyid Muhammad Hamzah Ahmed, RQF level 3, sorry, level 6,
Yeah.
diploma, right? You have to mention that. Okay. All right. Uh, what do you intend to do after completing the diploma program?
Inshallah, I will apply for the masters, like in UK or USA. Let's see what will
Okay.
happen after that.
And we can assist you in the master's application once you're ready. Let us know, and we will assist you in that process. Right? That comes as part of the assessment process, right? So not the assessment process, but the hand holding exercise. So we do give you that. Okay. All right. Bismillah. So you want to
Mm.
start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Please proceed.
Mm.
I'm going to start the timer.
Yes, sir.
Now
Okay, so am I audible, sir?
you are, and I can see your screen as well.
Okay, sir. Okay, so my name is Syed Mohammad Hamza Ahmed, and today I will be presenting about the topic which is cloud native AI powered monitoring and security automation for serverless architectures. So this presentation will demonstrate that how multiple resources such as AWS Lambda and Azure functions integrated with AI powered monitoring tools can be used to uh, made an scalable, efficient, and secure serverless architecture. So I have divided this presentation into 6 parts, which we will discuss step by steps. So let's go to the basic, which is introduction to cloud native serverless architecture. So cloud native serverless architecture represents a paradigm shift in application deployment. Unlike traditional architectures, serverless architectures removes the need to manage the infrastructures, enabling the developers to only focus on writing the code and deploying it. Services like AWS Lambda and Azure functions execute code in response to specific triggers, offering scalability and cost effectiveness. But in this context, security becomes critical. Security automation becomes critical. Because of the ephemeral nature of serverless functions means that they can be scaled up or scaled down based on the demands, makes them ideal for their workloads. Uh, but this dynamism also increases the complexity of tracking the performance and securing these environments, which is where AI powered monitoring tools comes in, which makes these environments secure. uh, and uh, moving on towards the infrastructure as code for serverless deployments. Okay, so infrastructure as code revolutionizes the deployment by the allowing the developers to define and manage the infrastructure through code instead of manual processes. This ensures that all the resources are deployed consistently and can be easily and uh, updated and scaled. In this architecture, tools like AWS CloudFormation, Azure Resource Manager, and Terraform are used for automating and resource configurations and provisioning. These tools also enable version controls for infrastructure changes, ensuring traceability and reducing the likelihood of errors. Infrastructure as code also supports the uh, continuous integration and continuous deployment, which is CI/CD pipelines, helping to helping to streamline the development cycle and accelerate the time to market. So AI-powered monitoring and automation. Okay, so AI-powered monitoring plays a vital role in managing serverless architectures. These tools like AWS CloudWatch and uh, Azure AI, these tools like AWS SageMaker and Azure AI use machine learning models to analyze vast amount of data for identifying anomalies. For instance, AI can be used to detect unusual spikes in functional invocations or latency, helping to identify the issue before it affects the user. Uh, Additionally, automation allows for proactive responses to detect issues. For instance, when anomalies is detected, automated workflows can scale up the resources, apply patches, or notify the teams without manual intervention. Manual intervention. This will reduce the downtime downtime and the errors. Okay, so real-time threat detection and incident response. Real-time threat detection is critical in serverless environments due to their dynamic nature. Tools like AWS Security Hub and Azure Security Center continuously monitor for potential threats and vulnerabilities. These tools aggregate data through multiple sources, such as logs and resource configurations to provide valuable and actionable insights. And about incident response is automated through uh, predefined predefined playbooks which triggers when specific conditions are met. For instance, if unauthorized access is detected, the system can automatically uh, automatically detect the revoke the access and alerts the administrator. This will minimize the downtime and the ensures that uh, the damage can not be done because of the automated incident response. Okay, so compliance and security automation. Compliance is a critical requirement for all the organization, particularly for those who works in regulated industries. With tools like AWS Security Hub and Azure Policy enforces consistent security configuration across all the resources. Uh, these tools automatically uh, uh, these tools automatically detect the non-compliant resources and apply the corrective actions, ensuring adherence to standards like PCI DSS and GDPR. And if we talk about the security automation also extends to vulnerability management, where systems continuously scan for known vulnerabilities and remediate them without manual intervention. Uh, this approach reduces the risk of human error human error human error it and ensures that all the compliance is enforced. Okay, so last but not least, it is identity and access management in serverless architectures. identity and access management is the fundamental for rule for securing the serverless architectures with services like AWS, IAM, and Azure Active Directory. You can define some fine-grained permissions for invoking your uh, Lambda functions, for instance, functions and all the other related resources. For instance, you can allow some specific rules for invoking your Lambda or functions, while restricting others from modifying the resources. Additionally, if security monitoring tools integrates with AWS IAM to detect and mitigate unauthorized uh, layered functions will this layered approach to access control that only authorized access can be can interact with the sensitive data and all the related resources, reducing the risk of data breaches. Uh, okay, so the conclusion is that all the integration of AI powered monitoring tools and different cloud services like for compliance and automation and security, we can create an scalable and uh, and secure serverless architecture. Uh, uh, okay, so that's the presentation, and now we will discuss about the architectures.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, so is this visible to you?
Yes, it is. It's
Okay,
I can see it in front of my screen as well.
yes. So this is a Figma, which is an online tool.
Mhm.
So so this is AWS architecture. So in this architecture, we will use CloudFormation or Terraform for all the functions. Uh, so either Terraform or CloudFormation. So first of all, we will discuss about the Terraform. After writing the code in Terraform, we will store the raw data file in S3 bucket. The S3 bucket is perfectly secured by the IAM permissions, and then it will go through the AWS config for the all the compliance, and then after that the resources will be allocated, and after that it will go through the security hub. So stop it there, like a security hub. And if we talk about the Lambda, so for the Lambda is secure from all the malicious traffic through AWS WAF, which is firewall. And for the APIs, we will use API gateway, and for the API gateway to secure it, we will use security hub. Okay, so the X-ray is uh, used for refining all the APIs, and then it will go to the Lambda. And to store the sensitive data or sensitive code of Lambda, we will store it in the secret manager. And both secret manager and Lambda are perfectly uh, protected with the IAM rules. And CloudTrail is used for the API trails, like the trail of API gateway and the Lambda. Both API will go to the CloudTrail. And after the Lambda's logs, it will go to the X-ray, and X-ray will send the all the logs to the CloudWatch. Okay, so CloudWatch will go through the logs, and it will send the logs to the guard data. So there is an we will put there as an SQS, so it can send the messages to the teams or notify the teams. So after the CloudWatch logs will go to the S3 buckets, and from S3 bucket it will go to the AWS Glue. So AWS Glue will refine the logs for the SageMaker. Then SageMaker will uh, judge the logs, and these logs will go to the another lambda, because I have not put in there, which is an what can I say, like there is an another S3 bucket, or there can be an lambda functions which can um, uh, from which the logs can go to the lambda function. Okay, so that's the architecture of AWS, and now this is the architecture of Azure. Okay, so uh, uh, as we discussed in AWS, the file which we write through Terraform, the file will go to the Azure policy for the compliance checking, and after that it will go to the resource manager, which will give all the resources to the written in the Terraforms. Okay, so cost management to the resource manager means integrates with the resource manager means that the cost can be managed, and security center will be protect the resource manager. And after that, all the APIs will go through the API management, and WAF used for firewall, and front door will be front door will be used to secure the traffic distribution. And after that, the APIs will go to the functions. Function is protected by key vault, and storage account is used for storing all the data, and see sensitive data. And after that, the functions log will go to the event grid to dead letter queue. And also the functions logs will go to the monitor for monitoring, and from monitor it will go to the Azure Sentinel, which will notify the teams through alerts, and it will store the logs to the storage account, which will uh, later used by Azure AI. Okay, so this whole architecture is monitored through activity log, through which we can see the logs that who can accessing or managing the codes. So
Okay,
that's the
that's good. All right, let's jump into the Q&A. I've reviewed your presentation. It does follow. You can stop the screen, please, if you can.
yes, sir.
So I've reviewed your presentation. It does follow the objectives and all of those things, right? A couple of
Yes,
other.
sir.
So let's jump on the Q&A session right now. Uh, so let me open that presentation. So there are a couple of questions I have, like, right? So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So the first question is like, you showed me Azure and AWS architecture for serverless purposes, right? So
Yes,
how would you design an AI-driven monitoring system for serverless architecture that ensures minimal false positive in anomaly detection? Because the biggest problem we have is a lot of false positives, right? How
yes,
would
sir.
you,
uh, Sir, can you please repeat the question? uh,
using the same SageMaker you mentioned, how would you design an AI-driven monitoring system for serverless architectures that ensures minimal false positives in anomaly detection? Essentially being able to reach the crossover rate. You know what the crossover rate is? We
Uh,
covered that in the SSP. It's between the false positive and the false negative. When they cross, that's the sweet spot, right? How do
yes,
you
sir.
do? So how do
Okay,
you?
so okay, so the logs which can be sent to the from the Lambda or Azure functions to the AWS SageMaker or Azure AI, they can judge the logs that how APIs are coming to the
How are they
functions
judging? How are they judging?
uh,
What is SageMaker? SageMaker is
through machine learning models.
yes. That's
First,
what I
we
want.
will train the
Okay.
say SageMaker is an like machine learning models where you can train them because AWS has lots of AIs because they have for text to speech and speech to text and all the
Interesting.
others.
How are
Then
they?
a SageMaker
Wait, wait, wait.
is one that
Wait,
from through which we can
wait. You have a
uh,
internet. That's another that's creating some problems, right, for both of us. The question you have to mention the answer.
yes sir.
The answer is that you have to
Yes,
use.
sir, there's internet problems.
Yes, there's a bit of a lag. Next time, please don't do that. Try to arrange this thing so that we can have a much more effective conversation. You have to use supervised learning, unsupervised learning, feedback loops, Ansible learning. There's a lot of things that you have to do. That was the answer I was looking for, so that you can come up with probabilistic thresholds that you can establish, right? Okay. The
Yes,
second I have is that what strategies would you implement to manage secure API traffic, to manage
secure.
for serverless applications across multi-cloud environment where we have AWS and Azure? What would you do?
Okay, so for the AWS, we will use the WS firewall through which API gateway and firewall through which the APIs will be go through and X-ray AWS X-ray that they will refine the APIs and they will refine the APIs and it will then go to the Lambda, and for the Azure we will use front door.
Okay, you have to, you know, have to organize your thoughts in a way. We will use web application firewall, API gateway for gateway management, custom throttling policies, IP whitelisting, using the latest TLS 1.3, using OpenAuth or
Mm,
JWT authentication, Java web-based tokens or whatever, right? And then
yes, AWT.
cloud monitoring tools. Okay.
Yes.
The answer needs to be much more refined rather than just throwing something on a, sticky on the wall. Okay. Explain the role of infrastructure as a code in disaster recovery. How would it help you in terms of doing that?
Okay, so infrastructure as code, as we discussed, that it provides CI/CD pipelines. So when the disaster control, the pipelines are automated. So when there is an problem in the infrastructure, it will be automate and apply all the resources which uh, uh, in which there are problems. So it will it will make all the resources from the scratch, so there will be not a problem as in CI/CD pipelines we can automate them.
The whole idea of infrastructure as a code is to have, a version
To,
configuration, right? So in
yes,
case of disaster happening, you can integrate the AWS backup and the Azure backup to restore to serverless architecture much faster, right? That's what I was asking for. Okay. What are the challenges in securing serverless applications? I mean, everyone is going towards serverless architecture. What challenges do you face? Give
uh,
me, list to me three challenges.
for securing these serverless architecture.
Yes, with mitigation. Like, so first tell me the challenge and then the mitigation for that challenge.
So first of all, the challenge is from the malicious traffic. That is someone can send the APIs that can harms the Lambda functions like uh, DDoS, and like these. Secondly, there are problems like for permissions. For permissions, like if we do not if we do not write permissions like IAM permissions and like that, so anyone can change the code and it will trigger the Lambda functions, which will which will makes the problem in Lambda. And third is that like third is that like uh, mm, uh,
Lack of
mm,
visibility. You don't
yeah,
know the underlying infrastructure. Where does it resides? What happens?
yes sir.
Okay. All right. So questions are tough. The topic
uh,
is right. Okay. So describe a CI/CD pipeline for serverless functions where that includes security and compliance check. What would you do? Because you showed me the whole diagram, which is essentially the pipeline, right?
yes
Where
sir.
security is embedded within the infrastructure as a code. Tell me, what would you do? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, whatever processes you have. Tell me those processes.
Okay, so in
Okay,
AWS.
answer this question. Look at your AWS diagram. Open it.
Okay sir. Okay sir, yes. Okay, so in AWS architecture, first of all, we will write the code in Terraform, which is a multiple cloud agnostic
Tell me
platform.
like this. Tell me like this. Code commit. Then we
Yep.
do code analysis. Then we do what after this?
Okay, so first we will code the commit the code from Terraform, and after that we will see that all the codes are perfectly compliant. That the code that um, there are no things left like from uh, which we can get attacks like. So we will use AWS configs for that, and after that we will secure our Lambda from different
Here's the thing.
different.
It goes with code commit, static code analysis, unit testing, stress testing, smoke testing, all kinds of testing goes in there. Infrastructure is the code validation. Then we deploy it. Then we perform security checks, compliance checks. That's how it goes. You already showed me, but you're getting so just calm down. Okay. This is an easy interview as compared to this is tougher as compared to a job interview, but that's how the job interviews will go through, right? So you have to prepare yourself for the future, inshallah. When you're going into the market, you're representing a Nafi, right? So
Yes.
you have to show that you know your stuff. That's why from January of 1st of 2025, it will become difficult, not impossible, but difficult to get the diploma, right? Because we want to make sure like you learn all the embedded tasks. All of these things are already there, given to you as a Razak tasks, right? I'm going to give you half a point on that, but you have to do better. How do you integrate predictive analytics into monitoring serverless architecture? Related to the first question I asked you, how would you do
uh,
that?
uh, can you repeat the question
How would
please?
you integrate predictive analytics in a server
Predict.
monitoring, right? So think SageMaker, think X-ray, think all the data pointers. I've given you a lot of thinking points, right?
Yes.
Now answer, please.
Okay. Okay, so the logs which are going to the Lambda, they are refined from the X-ray, and the cloud trail is watching the APIs from API gateway to Lambda. So both of these logs will go to the SageMaker, and then SageMaker will judge the logs, and it will give the results. So through which we can integrate that.
Okay. Now, the best answer, you are struggling over here right now. Uh, Try to again. Do you want to have some water? You want to have some
Uh,
water?
yes.
Go and have some water. It should be in front of you. Yes. Okay. So, how would you architect a hybrid serverless environment using AWS Lambda and Azure Functions for global applications?
Uh, uh, from hybrid, like I didn't understand the question. Can you please?
Question is like you have two environments, AWS and Azure,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And you want to globally load balance, like for
Global.
global application, like the traffic, wherever the traffic is coming from, wherever the data center resides, you send the traffic there and there, right? How
Yes, sir.
would you pull this off?
Okay, so
Use
base.
Lambda functions and Azure functions. There is AWS Lambda, and then there is
Yes.
Azure functions. Both do the same thing, right? How would you do this?
Okay, so based on the demands, like if there are uh, uh, like there are many people who are accessing our website or anything, and our Lambda function is close to that region, we can send those people towards the Lambda, and we can scale up, or we can also scale up the our Lambda functions. And about Azure functions, we can also use it for scaling up, like our data is coming from that part of region, and our Azure architecture is in that part, so we can make a load balancer uh, where the uh, peoples are coming through which through that, and they are dividing from the load balancer.
Okay, I will take that answer. Uh, but more needs to be done. More needs to be done. Okay. What measures would you implement to protect sensitive secrets in the serverless applications in line with PCI DSS? What would you do differently?
Okay, so first of all, for Lambda, we will use secret manager, and for secret manager, we can also integrate it from IM, and all the other secret sensitive data we can use S3 bucket. But for S3 bucket, we can only provide the read for the only specific roles, because in PCI DSS we can't provide the read and write because there are sensitive data, so we can protect it through IM permissions and others.
Okay. So store secrets in AWS, secret manager, or Azure key vaults, restrict
Yes, the keywords.
through IAM policies, enable automated key rotations as per the compliance requirements of PCI DSS,
Okay.
and always encrypt secrets at rest and in transit with AES,
Yes,
uh, 6 and TLS protocols, right? These
in
are
REST also.
basic questions. I mean, so you really need to do the Al Razak labs because that's going to prepare you for the future. Okay, so pay attention to get registered. Get yourself registered in the Al Razak program. Okay, this is very important for you. Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
So, how can AI improve incident response time in serverless architecture? How can it do that?
Improve its time. Okay,
Response
so
time.
yes, sir. Response
Something
times.
happens. What happens? I mean, what do you
So
do?
as we discussed that incident response are predefined through playbooks that can be triggered through when specific conditions are met. So we can define that type of conditions that are specific. So when any incident happened, so uh, it will automatically trigger the condition, through the AI, and it will notify the teams.
How would it integrate the condition through AI? What AI is looking at? I mean, I'm talking
So
about
AI,
how you can improve the incident response time. To improve the incident response time, what do you need to see?
the logs,
Yes.
or the yes,
Look, Hamza, you know your answers, but you
yes,
have to articulate yourself, right? If you don't articulate yourself, then that's where you got the full point for this. Because I need to know, I need to hear the keywords. You know, we the AI can improve incident response time in serverless architecture by looking at the historical data residing in the SIEM, syslog server, all of those places, especially SIEM, security information events management, right? This is where all the action is happening. Um, the AI, the AWS Security Hub, the SageMaker, all of those things, will go through the data, predefine incident response playbooks. It will design that, use NLP to analyze threat intelligence feeds, multiple other things, and then come up with a plan of how it can do predictive analytics, right? It can see this will happen. Like since you're a Muslim, I can give you an example. Now we have many non-Muslims here as well. In Quran, Allah says there's a lot of historical data, right? Allah says to
yes,
Prophet
sir.
Muhammad, there's a lot of historical facts you didn't know, O Muhammad. I'm telling you, this is an indication that Prophet Muhammad didn't know anything. He only knew what was told to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So the knowledge of the unseen is only with Allah.
Yes,
But
sir.
those are the things that Allah has given to us and say, look at the stories of the past messengers and the prophets so that you know exactly what will happen,
Yes, sir.
right? Because you will go through the same things. Historical data,
Yes, sir.
response time. See,
Yes, sir.
that's what needs to be done. All right. So uh, this is the last question. I'm going to sum it up because, I'm changing the pattern of the exam. We're changing that. Explain the role of IAM policies in securing serverless architecture and their potential pitfalls.
Okay, so we
What is IAM policies in securing serverless architecture?
so IAM policies are like that, zero trust models. Like you can only provide the least privilege. Like you can only give the permissions for specific.
Yeah, keep on going. Internet issue. Okay. You have to do better, Hudayfa. You have to inform everyone about these things. You already mentioned the key aspects, but Hudayfa, are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
So, see, like he's having problems. I can't talk to him properly, right? I think he lost his internet connection, but he was able to answer the question. So I'm going to take that. He'll be very worried, like thinking, I'm going to fail the exam. 2, 2, 4, 6, 10, 12.
I'm so sorry, sir. There are a lot of problems.
I know you should thank the army generals in
Yes,
Pakistan,
sir.
right? And the politicians and the best,
Yes.
all of these guys uh,
So
who have
it,
who have
yes.
destroyed the country by creating a banana republic, right? So what can I say? Uh, you were able to answer the question that I was trying to hear, right? I have summed up your exam right now. All right. Do you want to hear your score?
Yes, sir. Right.
How old are you, Hamza?
I am 21 year old.
21.
Yes. Like,
You scored altogether 68%. You did pass the exam. Okay.
yes.
Could have been better? Absolutely, yes.
Yes, sir.
Internet issues, that is something not, I didn't deduct any marks for that. But in the presentation, you scored 19. The We were able to check the AI usage and stuff like that. That's okay. Uh, right? But the point is that in the Q&A session, you did struggle, so you scored 15 out of 25, right? Uh, Now, here's the thing. You did pass. I want to congratulate you in terms of passing the exam. However, you should do Al Razak labs properly so that you are much more articulate in terms of providing your answers. This is very important for you to understand, right? The goal is not to hand over anyone qualifications, just
Yes,
like
sir.
universities are doing. At least you're able to speak and you were able to go through all of those things. The learning process should never stop, right?
Yes, sir.
Keep on learning, keep on enhancing yourself, and then obviously keep on earning. If you keep on learning new things, you will keep on earning, right?
Yes.
Earning is attached and associated with learning process, right? Obviously, if you want to start your company or whatever the case is, right? You're very young. You should try to go and focus yourself towards uh, landing into the US. This is my recommendation for you. At 21 years of age, if you position yourselves to go towards the state, that should be your goal, right?
Yes, sir.
That will significantly help you in terms of like, and if you really want to go into the last year of the bachelor's program, the last year. That's going to help you. The reason is that you will get the bachelor's degree. You have the AI ops, yes, you can apply for the master's. But what I'm saying is like you're young. You have to apply
Yes,
for
sir.
you have to apply for EB visa. So the more qualifications you rack up in US, the better your application looks like, right?
Yes.
So that is one place you can go. That's one place you should go. This is my recommendation for you, right? Plan yourself and then proceed further. If you want assistance in terms of taking admission in UK or wherever you want to go, contact the academic operations department. Not that, sorry, Al Razak team. Al Razak team is the one who's responsible for getting you, preparing your profile and everything for admissions abroad, right? So we do
Yes, sir.
provide that service, okay? Um, your scores will be compiled, and once everything is compiled and reviewed, then we will send it over to basically EduQual so that they can issue you the diploma. The diploma is right now EduQual certified. We have a secured Pearson, which is
Yes.
HNC HND. You have the option of doing that HND if you want to do that. There's no need for BTEC. You know, there's no need for HNC. I believe you just have to do HND if you want to do it. That's up to you to decide. But we are also going to get certified our EduQual qualifications with off-call. So essentially, we have started that process as well. In 2023, we secured EduQual. In 2024, we secured Pearson. In
Mm.
2025, we want to secure off-call and OFS, right? It's a gradual process for even for us. Are you working somewhere right now?
No, sir, not right now.
Are you going to start applying for positions?
Yes, I have applied through many portals and through and like multiple places, but nobody call like
You have to get your resume done. You have to prepare your resume, get the ATS score right up for, with
yes,
the team. Al Razak team will assist you, but do the labs. There's a bit of hesitation in terms of interviewing. Like there are students who are level three diploma holders and they're working six-figure salaries they're earning, right?
yes,
Because they are able to articulate themselves better. So the only thing, my recommendation to you is, you know, the communication skills will come to you if you keep on pressing, keep on reading properly, doing all of those things, right? And then keep on doing the labs. The labs are going to train you for all the positions, and those things will be reflected in your resume that will take you to the next level, inshallah. Okay.
yes,
Uh, so this is my final words for you. You can always contact us. I'm always available for our alumni, who are graduating from here and they're going out. The Al Razak program is there to assist you in getting you on the
yes.
job, right? You already know. Have you started Al Razak?
No, not right now.
Why were you waiting? What were you waiting for?
For that presentation, because those labs are given to me, but I have done like 30 labs
You
or
have done so.
20.
You have already started Al Razak,
Yes, sir. Those labs, yes.
the preliminary labs, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's good. So start doing those labs. From January
Okay.
on, January, February, you will be given containers as well for each of the labs. It's going to be much easier for you to perform these labs. But start doing them right now
Okay, sir.
so that you are better prepared, inshallah. Okay? As
Yes,
I said,
inshallah.
you're young, you're energetic, there's a lot of time, on your side. Time is on your side right now.
Yes,
All you
sir.
need to do is organize yourself, invest your time properly, keep on learning, keep on expanding yourselves, inshallah. Complete the Al Azhar program because it is
Yes,
then
sir.
our responsibility to place you. But your responsibility is to get the Al Razak done. Our
Okay.
responsibility is to get you on the job.
Yes.
No one takes that responsibility. You take your first step, then we take our two steps. That's what you have. Okay? All right. So
Okay,
do you
sir.
have any questions for me?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Say my salam to your parents.
you. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Based in Karachi. When I'm there next time, I'm planning to come there during Ramadan time, inshallah. The last
Okay.
Ashra of Ramadan I will be spending there. So perhaps I can see you, inshallah. Okay?
Okay.
At the
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, I will see you. Your results will be compiled. All the final marks will go through second review and then we will let you know, inshallah. Okay? Jazakallah khair. Assalamu
Allah.
alaikum. I will be live again in the next
Okay, sir.
1 hour. Then I will see anyone who has any questions. Okay? Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Allah Hafiz, sir.